200 important topics in organic chemistry series, and this is the 8th video. So for the last 2 weeks I was busy, and that's why I couldn't upload any videos, but right now I'm back and I will upload regular videos. So in this video I'm going to talk about one of the very important topic, and that is the stereoselectivity of Wittig reaction. Wittig reaction, you all know, that is a very important carbon-carbon double bond formation reaction, and that reaction is actually stereoselective. So based on your ylide you used in the reaction, you will get different outcomes. So if you use this kind of ylide where there is no stabilizing group, so from here if you add sodium hydride, you will generate negative charge over here. So actually there should be a positive charge, I forgot that. So there should be a positive charge. So when you add sodium hydride, you will generate negative charge, and this is ylide. So in this case the ylide we can write like this. Okay, so this is our ylide, and you can see there is no stabilizing group, only ethyl group is there, which is not a stabilizing group, a normal group. So in this case, if you use this kind of unsymmetrical aldehyde like benzaldehyde, you will get this Z double bond. So in this case the geometry or the stereochemistry is Z. This phenyl and ethyl group, they will be in same side, and this is the Z stereochemistry. Whereas if you use stabilized ylide, for example in this case, if you generate negative charge over here, you can see that negative charge is stabilized in this carbonyl group, in this ester group, and this is a stabilized ylide. So the difference is clear here. In this case there is no stabilizing group, here you have a stabilizing group. And now if you do the same reaction with same aldehyde, you will get the trans stereochemistry. So this is the stereoselectivity of Wittig reaction. If you use stabilized ylide, you will get cis product, whereas if you use unstable ylide, you will get cis or Z product, and if you use stabilized ylide, you will get Z E product. So let me write it. Stable ylide will give you E product. You can see this is the E product, whereas unstable ylide will give you Z product. So this is a rule, you have to remember it. Now I will produce few example of this. So you can see this is our, so this is our sorry for this, I cannot extend it here, so let me produce it from, let me make it bigger. So I have to make it bigger first so that I can show this to you. Yes, so these are the examples. Okay, so I have taken this from book, you can see. So in the first case we have this thing, and you can see here you have no stabilizing group. There is a large group in this case, but it is not a stabilizing group, it is a normal group. And in this case, if you use this big aldehyde over here, what you are getting? You are getting this, so you are getting this Z isomer. So it is an unstable ylide, and you are getting Z isomer. Similarly, in this case you can see there is no stabilizing group, there is a normal group in this case, and here also you are getting Z only product. But the next example, you have the same stabilizing ester group, and with this aldehyde you are getting now the E product. You can see because it is a stabilized ylide, you are getting E product. Similarly in this case also you are using stabilized ylide, where the stabilizing group is this aldehyde group, and you are getting this E ylide. So these 4 examples, 2 are based on the unstable ylide and 2 are based on the stable ylide. So you can find several other examples, and in exams several question comes from this topic. So you have to find out whether the ylide is stable or unstable, and then you can easily say whether you will get Z product or E product. Now this is the information you need to know, but I will clarify why you are getting these 2 products. That is the explanation why the stable ylide give E product and unstable ylide gives Z product. So let me first explain the case of unstable ylide. So let's say you have this unstable ylide, which I took at the beginning of the video. So we had this thing PPH3 plus, here you have ethyl group, and when this is treated with sodium hydride, so sodium hydride will take one proton from here, so this will produce negative charge. Now this ylide we can represent in a resonance canonical form like this, and the generally accepted mechanism for Wittig reaction, the oxyphosphatane formation, is the 2+2 cycloaddition reaction. So now this component and the aldehyde will undergo the 2+2 cycloaddition. So let me first draw this thing. 3 phenyl groups are there, so this is a large group indeed, and here we will write down the hydrogen inside and the ethyl group outside. So this is how we can draw it. Okay, now from the back the aldehyde will approach. So let's say the aldehyde approaches from here. Now here you have to make the proper arrangement of the aldehyde. So I can put either the hydrogen here and the phenyl here, the benzaldehyde, or I can do the reverse, that is I can put the phenyl group over here and the hydrogen over here. Now clearly this red arrangement is not favorable, because then this phenyl and all these other phenyl groups, they will experience the steric hindrance. So you have to always keep the small group above and the large group below. So this white arrangement is indeed the correct arrangement. Now from this white arrangement, what you will get, so this bond formation will occur from here to here and here to here, and now you will get the oxyphosphatane intermediate. So this is how the oxyphosphatane will look like. Yeah, so here you have this hydrogen, you have this ethyl group, and here you have this hydrogen and this phenyl group, and 3 PH3 groups are there. So this is the oxyphosphatane intermediate you will get. Now let me draw it in another way, and how we can do it. So we will just rotate this bond, and that will give us this arrangement. So here you have this PPH3, here you have oxygen, so this is this 4-membered ring, and now you have this hydrogen, this ethyl group, and here you can see if this rotation takes place, this hydrogen will come here, so this hydrogen will come here, and this phenyl will come here. So now you can see the Z stereochemistry, the cis stereochemistry is manifested in the oxyphosphatane also, because in the oxyphosphatane the ethyl and the phenyl group, they are in the same side. And now if this oxyphosphatane collapse, so how it will collapse, so this bond will go here and this will come here. So now if it collapse, you will get this hydrogen, phenyl, ethyl, hydrogen. So you can see this ethyl and phenyl, they are in the same side. So this is how you get the Z alkene starting from the unstable ylide. From a unstable ylide you are getting Z alkene. Now let us see how we get the E alkene from stable ylide. So similarly we will draw the oxyphosphatane first. For that, let's say we take this ylide. So in this case we have this ester substituted ylide, and here you have this PO OET. Now this compound, if you treat with sodium hydride, again it will take proton from here, and that will actually produce negative charge, and now this OET. So now you can see this is stabilized ylide, because this negative charge can be stabilized both in this side, also in this side, right? So in both sides there is a stabilization, that's why we call it stabilized ylide. And from this stabilized ylide we can draw one resonance canonical form, and that is basically O minus OET, and here in this side you have this ester group. So this is the resonance canonical form. Now this will undergo 2+2 cycloaddition with the aldehyde. So first we will draw this. Okay, so P O minus OET, and here we have this aldehyde. So say, again we will put hydrogen above and phenyl below, because otherwise there will be steric hindrance. Now here it is important to note where we should place the other groups. So in the previous case we put ethyl group over here, but now what we will do, we will put the hydrogen over here and the CO2 ET group over here. Why? You will see within a moment. So from here the oxyphosphate which we are going to get is this one here, and now we have this CO2 ET group, hydrogen, here we have this hydrogen and this phenyl, here we have all this O minus, OET and OET. Now why I put this CO2 ET in the right hand side and not in the left hand side? Because if I put the CO2 ET in the left hand side, you can see if I put the CO2 ET, so let me open it, if I put it over here OET, you can see this oxygen group and this CO2 ET group, there will be Coulombic repulsion. Both are electronegative and electron rich, that is the oxygen has lone pair, right? So this oxygen and this oxygen both are having lone pair, so there will be Coulombic repulsion. In the previous case we had only ethyl group, you can see it is ethyl group and there is no Coulombic repulsion over here. But in this case, because it is not the simple ethyl group, it is stabilizing group, the electronegative oxygen atom is there in the ester group, and that's why there will be Coulombic repulsion. So to avoid this Coulombic repulsion, this CO2 ET group will find its place in the right hand side. And now from this, if we rotate this bond, what we are going to get, we are going to get this thing OET O minus, and here we have this hydrogen CO2 ET, and this side we are going to get this phenyl hydrogen. So you can see if we rotate the bond, this hydrogen will come here and this phenyl will come at the right hand side. So now in this oxyphosphate itself, the Z stereochemistry is actually it is not Z, it is actually E, that is the trans. The E or the trans stereochemistry is manifested, and when this oxyphosphate collapse, you will get the E or trans product. So this is how you get trans product or E product from stable ylide. So I hope that you understood how you can get the Z product from unstable ylide and E product from a stable ylide. Now this understanding is important because you are learning chemistry, so you should learn the actual reason why you are getting a particular product. But the more important thing here is to know the fact that that the unstable ylide gives Z alkene and stable ylide gives E alkene, because in the exam you will get the question and you have to predict the right answer. You don't have to explain it, but at the end of everything you have to know the reason. So that's why I explained it. I hope that this video will help you. If you like this video, give a thumbs up. How the video was, let me know in the comment section, and also share this video with your friends, and thank you for watching.